Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. It's Niall, and I'm delighted as always to be joined by Gregory. And we're here reacting to what we've just seen from Saudi Arabia as Joy Opetaia has continued his unblemished record and won once again the IBF cruiserweight title, defeating MAIRIS Briedis in a rematch. He won by unanimous decision in the end with scorecards of 117, 111, and 116, 112 twice. So yeah, Gregory, hope you're well. Let's jump into it. Opetaia is still undefeated. Just give us your thoughts basically on how that fight unfolded. Did it go as you expected it to go, or what were your opinions on that one?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, Niall. Niall, actually, I really need to credit you. You did say when we spoke earlier in the week, you thought it would go the full way. I thought there was a chance it could, but because Briedis was out for 2 years, the age and everything, I thought, well, usually there's not many human beings, unless you're Bernard Hopkins, who can take that length of time out, come back, put on a performance, still stay there, and the big circle in boxing. But, you know, strangely enough, now the biggest thing I take away from that tonight is how tough is Briedis and how much has he got in his engine. I'll be honest, I said to you off camera, I said to some of the guys in the group, I had at 118, 110 Opetaia. I gave Briedis the last 2 rounds. I just thought Opetaia was just a bit more accurate, a bit more forward foot, a bit more initiating than Briedis in the rest of the rounds. It really hurt him in round six. But the last 2 rounds, wow, what a warrior Marius Briedis is. So, yeah, really enjoyed that fight towards the end. Now, the first half was a bit frustrating, but the second half it picked up.
Yeah, I have to agree with what you said totally. If it the last two rounds were what we kind of expected it to be from the first fight, what the first fight was, it was quite I don't want to say underwhelming, but more conservative than people thought it was going to be. But yeah, I agree in terms of the fact we spoke briefly off camera there and just said how Opetaia showed, he showed Breedis that respect that he deserved, to be honest with you. And for whatever reason, his experience, his craftiness, the fact that Breedis kind of gave him that injury in the first fight, was he tentative about that? But yeah, he just kind of controlled, dictated the pace well, kind of early on. Opetaia to build up that lead and control the center of the ring. So, but yeah, absolute credit to Maris Breedis. So tough, so experienced, even at 39, 2 years out of the ring. And we mentioned off camera there as well. What if he had a kind of picked up that tempo 2 or 3 rounds earlier on, because he had Opetaia hurt. He had Opetaia scrambling there in them last 2 rounds. So I would have loved to just see him kick into that gear a bit earlier on, but absolute credit to him. What a performance it really was. So yeah, that's Opetaia getting the win there. A comfortable unanimous decision. Well, comfortable enough in the end. I just want to ask you now about what's next for Joy Opetaia. It's an interesting division. He is kind of seen as the consensus number one in the division. But where do you see him going next? Of course, we have Billum Smith and React fighting in the summer. You've got Michaelian, I believe, the WBC champion, and you've got Zurdo Ramirez, who just beat Guillemarian. What do you think is next for Joy Opetaia now after this win?
Well, Niall, there's been the whispers that he's thinking about heavyweight. I wouldn't be thinking about that just now. I think that he's got to assert his dominance at cruiserweight. I think he's capable of beating all of those guys. It's strange because you see, it reminds me of a film where some of these elite guys that can get, or very good guys that can get sparked out, but you've got the old dog in there that's got so much experience and he's going to make you so much better. And for me, that was Marius Briedis tonight. I think that that was the hardest fight for Opetaia at cruiserweight, just based on style, based on experience, based on a few things. Honestly, I think he beats the rest. I really do. I think that just that style and that matureness, I think that's the hardest fight for him. I think the rest, I'm not going to say he walks through them. I think Ramirez is a tough man, but I think he's very limited in terms of I think he can be outworked. I think Richard Riakporhe can be hurt. I think Chris Billum-Smith can be hurt. Um, WBC champion, yeah, I think he can be outmaneuvered as well. So I want to see, I want to see Opetaia clean up at cruiserweight. Maybe that's going to take 2 years. Niley's got time on his side. He's only 28. You know, don't rush up to fight these big mammoth guys that we're going to witness tonight. So yeah, clean up at cruiserweight for me over the next 2 years, and then consider moving up.
Yeah, again, I have to totally agree with what you said there. You know, I think time is on his side. I don't want to see him move up yet, either. The
Yeah,
heavyweight, definitely not. Especially when, you know, if he waits a couple more years, cleans up a cruiserweight, these Furies, the Usyks, the Joshuas, they'll be gone. Surely
yeah,
they'll be gone in the next couple of years too. So wait until they go to kind of make that move. But also, that being said, the current cruiserweight landscape is, I think he beats everybody as well. And that's no disrespect to the other champions, the Billum Smith, Riakporhe, Zurdo. I think this fella just does clean up. And I hope he gets the fights now to show it. I hope it's a unification fight for him next, so he can kind of continue on that path. But I just think he's so well rounded. I love to kind of watch him fight. I think he's so easy on the eye, so light on his feet, you know, so slick, smooth to watch. But yeah, I think every other champion in that division, I think Joy Opetaia beats them. And, you know, I'd make him kind of strong favourite there, to be quite honest with you. I think he's that good. So yeah, I do think the next 2 years, max, there'll be an undisputed cruiserweight champion, and it'll be Joy Opetaia. I do. So we're in agreement on that. One quick question before I do let you go. We both mentioned we don't want it to happen yet. Let's say it does happen and the time is on the side. Could Jai Opetaia one day win a world heavyweight title? Do you think?
Ooh, that's a really, really good question, Niall. I didn't actually think of that. It's really caught me off guard. It's tough because I don't think we're going to get much bigger in stature than Tyson Fury, but it seems as though the more life goes on, people are getting bigger. I'm not saying we're going to have another Nikolai Valoev that's light on their feet. Um, really all depends. I mean, I'm trying to think of the young guys coming through. Do I see him beating Jared Anderson? Yes. I think he can beat Jared Anderson. That's who a lot of people are talking about as the future, aren't they? Bob
Mhm.
Arum certainly is. I'm thinking 4 or 5 years down the line, who's going to be the guy that's there? Someone's probably going to win the Olympics now and come through, maybe get fast tracked, etc. But right now, I'm trying to think of your young heavyweights, and Jared Anderson's probably the one that really sticks out. And I think Opetaia could beat him. I think it'd be a good fight, but he could. So now, to answer your question, it wouldn't surprise me if he did go in and win a version of the world heavyweight title. But whether he's big enough in stature and size, I think that remains to be seen. I don't think he's an Alexander Usyk, but I think he's a good fighter.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree with what you said. Like, and as I mentioned earlier, by the time he does move up, the likes of Fury, Usyk, Wilder,
Yeah,
Parker will be gone, and there is
yeah,
matchups there that even now you'd say, oh, it wouldn't surprise me if Opetaia won that. But
yeah,
the the size, the kind of physical size is an interesting point, because I was watching that myself and thinking, I'm curious to see how he'd look at heavyweight, because he's quite shredded at cruiserweight. Like, he's in great shape for a cruiserweight. So I'd like to see how his body kind of looks up there at heavyweight. And of course, does it diminish from speed wise? You know, what would be his ideal weight? But by the time he does move up, I definitely think he will be good enough to win a world heavyweight title. So, but as we mentioned, let's have him clean up cruiserweight first before we even talk about that. That is somewhere down the line, you know. So interesting options for Joy Opetaia. That was our reaction, myself and Greg, to him defeating MAIRIS Briedis in a rematch of their 2022 epic to once again win the IBF Cruiserweight title. Still the Ring Magazine champion, and yeah, on the verge of huge unification belts. Let us know what you think in the comments. Who do you want to see him fight next? The Billum Smith Reactor winner, Zurdo Ramirez, Mikhailian, and can he go undisputed at cruiserweight and maybe win a world heavyweight title one day? As always, don't forget, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube, follow us on all social media. There's always great content coming up regularly. And Greg, yeah, speak again and take care.
Thanks very much, Sam. Speak soon.